Okay, hello everybody. If everybody hears me well, I would like to start this webinar. Thank you all for participating today. And I just would like to start with a short personal introduction. I'm James Roos. I am a product manager in EnGenius, the European office, the European sales office. And I am working for EnGenius now for more than 3 years. Just checking if everything is going well now. Okay. As a product manager, I'm the bridge between headquarters and the customers in Europe. And if there's any question regarding products, you can direct the questions to me, and I will try to direct your question to the right place and try to answer in a proper way. Today's webinar, the title is General Product Introduction, and it's really going to be a general one, because I just want to start with a very general product introduction to make it a little light. In following webinars, it will be more into deep and more dedicated on certain topics. Today is the second webinar, is actually the repeating of the general product introduction that we had last week. But we just like to repeat this webinar to make it for more people accessible and give the opportunity for people to join the webinars as well. So today, I would like to start. Let me see here. I would like to go over our full product line. So in this presentation, I would like to give an overview. And in short, actually, we can divide our product line in 3 major categories, which is solutions as the first category, the main category at this moment, the standalone, that is the biggest category at this moment, and the SOHO. But actually, for the SOHO, well, it will be very short because it's not a focus product of in our product line. So I will start with the EWS solution, and later I will go to standalone, where we have outdoor and indoor, and I will give a short introduction to all the individual product lines. In general, I would like to introduce EnGenius. Well, EnGenius is a subsidiary brand of Sanao International. It's a stock-listed Taiwanese company founded in 1975, with main business in production of telephony and networking devices. The brand EnGenius is established in 1993. Since then, EnGenius focus on wireless networking devices like access points and routers. Besides EnGenius, EnGenius also have telephones, but this product line is not to be used in European regions. So in the US, for instance, we still have telephone product line, but not for European. Up till now, we used to provide the best wireless component in any wireless solution, and we have years of experience in this. But in 2014, we launched the EWS Neutron Series, and in 2015 we will continue to focus on the EWS series, and which we are going to rename to a distributed network management solution. Later I will explain you why it's going to be like this. The USPs for EnGenius. Well, here in this slide you see the USPs. We work in the unlicensed band as called the Wi-Fi standard, and both on 2.4 gigahertz. We have all the standards up to 11 AC, and we actually were one of the first who have an outdoor 11 AC solution available. From the past, we have always been very good in fine-tuning our hardware, which makes our hardware very reliable, and we really like to improve the sensitivity of the radios, and our hardware devices is actually also very capable of doing higher power, but because of the fact that it's not allowed in Europe to, the power is only limited to a certain level, or all our devices are coming with European firmware where the power levels are restricted within this allowed power levels. I want to start the product, to go through the product lines with our EWS series, the Neutron series. It's the first solution-based product line that EnGenius has, and this is currently the product line that we are focusing on. We call it a distributed network management solution, because it's actually a solution where you have a central point where you do the management to distribute it over the network. Well, what is the EWS Neutron series? It's an AP managed solution. Sorry, where you have a management switch, and the management switch is connected to an access point, and from this central point you can manage the access point. Basically, the switch that we are using is a all-in-one switch, and on top of that you have indoor and outdoor managed APs. It's typically for deployments for up to 50 access points or 1,000 users, and the target market is small, medium offices, hospitality, education. Key points here in our Neutron series is the easy installation and easy configuration from a central place. Well, technically, you can position the EWS Neutron series in places where you need to configure and manage multiple access points. We have to make very clear that it's not a system where the management is controlling clients, but it's a system that manages the access points on a central place. So here we can see that in this diagram, I like to give you the image, the explanation that in the bottom we have the standalone access point where you just have an access point, and if you want to manage the access point, then you have to go directly to the access point and do the configuration there. And on top we have a client level access control system where you really can control each client individually, but in between we have our EnGenius Neutron series. So it is a solution where you have multiple access points, up to 50 access points, where you can connect 1,000 clients to. And in this switch, you can manage the access points from this central place. So the key points in our Neutron series are the easy installation, the easy configuration. It's a scalable solution. You have low investment, and actually, last but not least, there are no licenses that you have to pay. Our solution is a license-free solution where you just have one switch, and this is just the management module is inside the switch, and you don't have to pay any licenses on top of that. Also, if there is any firmware updates, you don't need to pay any license for any firmware update, unlike other brands are doing. Actually, inside the switch, there is even a function where you can monitor the availability of a new firmware, and even you can update the firmware by one click inside of the switch. This slide shows the full function of the EWS solution. So, like I said, it's a managed wireless solution consisting out of 2 components, where competitors need 3 or 4 components. To these 2 components, I mean, you have the switch, and you have the access points. Well, for the switch, it's also a one device solution. It's a wireless controller built into a layer 2 switch, which is also PoE, PoE switch to provide PoE to the access points. So we have 3 things in one housing, and we have a few different models of switches. We have 2 versions. Actually, one version can manage up to 20 APs, but most of the switches can manage up to 50 access points. So basically, you have to start with one management switch, and from there you can build the access points on top. So the solution will look like this. And in this slide, I would like to explain you a little bit about the function of our EWS solution. Well, the function is in this diagram. Well, like I said, the EWS series is a managed AP solution where one EWS switch manages the functions of the access points in a central place. So in this picture, I reflected one switch here, management switch. On top of that, as an example, I put 2 EGS switches here, which is the normal PoE switch. And wired, I draw the access points in this picture. In this case, the EWS function is within this area. The switch will manage the access points which are connected either directly or through an EGS PoE switch. And the main functions are AP auto discovery and provisioning, very handy if you are setting up the system. You have the wireless configuration, you have the monitoring and controlling of the access point. So actually all the functions which are active inside the access point, you can control from the switch. Well, additional network devices, additional network services are not integrated in the management switch. We believe that certain functions should be done by dedicated devices. Functions like fast roaming, authentication, billing, captive portal, logging, UTM functions should be done by these, whether or not combined in one or more devices. While still, they can seamlessly work together alongside the EWS solution. So I draw this besides the solution here. Well, so this would be the EWS solution, and next to it, for instance, you can have a Ucopia access server and Sonic Wall UTM, for example. So this kind of diagram is showing you the function. Where does EWS function within the whole network picture? So far for the EWS Neutron series, my next webinars, the next 3 webinars are going to be dedicated more deep into the EWS Neutron series, but like I said, my first presentation is a general presentation where I just go through the product lines. So hereby EWS, access point managed wireless solution. The last thing that I want to add to the EWS Neutron series is that currently we are working on a software which we call ezMaster. And ezMaster is going to be a free software that can be that have to run on a server. It can be a local server, but it can also be a cloud server. The ezMaster is capable to over the net control multiple EWS deployments. So this means it is capable to do multi-site management. It can be through the cloud. It can integrate multiple EWS setups. You have management redundancy, and based on the fact that it's a server-based software, the only limitation for access point is based on your hardware. There is no, like I said, there is no. The software is free, so there's no additional license that gives you any limitation of the quantity of the access points. So far for the first EWS solution. I would like to continue my presentation with first the lineup of the products that we have in our EWS solution. So like I explained before, we have a few different models of switches. The management switches, up till now we have 4 switches. The full 19-inch switches, they are capable to handle 50 access points, and we have one 13-inch switch that can handle, can manage 20 access points. Actually, the interface and the features are exactly the same, only there is a limitation in the quantity of managed access points. And actually, the main features that differ the switches from each other is that the power budget is different, and quantity of ports. Excuse me. For the access points, we have both indoor and outdoor. So here a lineup of our indoor devices. I put in my slide here in this table different colors, which is representing the wireless radios. So on the right, I have a standard blue column here, which reflects 2.4 gigahertz radio, single radio. I have purple ones, which represent 2.4 plus 5 gigahertz radios. So in this case, I have 2 access points, which are dual radio. Just the difference here is that the EWS 320AP has 3 T3R radios, comparing to 2 T2R radios for the 310 model. The gold one that I have here is 11AC. So so we have a full line with single band, dual band variations, and 11AC access points for indoor. For outdoor, we have 2 models. They are currently also available, and we have a harsh model with IP68 IP rating, and we have a lower end model which is only IP55, but still has 11AC as a radio on 3T3R streams. I'd just like to mention here that the EWS 660 looks like a directional antenna, but actually there is a patch antenna inside, which has an omnidirectional antenna pattern. So both of the outdoor access points that we currently have in our EWS series are omnidirectional models. The last thing that I like to mention regarding the access points for the EWS series. Normally, all the if you have an EWS switch and you want to manage the access points, you have to use EWS access points because there is this link up between them. The only thing is that if you have an EWS access point, then you can also set it into a standalone mode to use it as a standalone access point. Okay, then next I would like to go to the outdoor series. Actually, EnGenius always has been very successful in outdoor, especially on the fact that we have for sure more heavy hardware than other suppliers have. We are actually also quite famous for the fact that our hardware is stronger in radios, but since the fact that this is not allowed in Europe, we restrict the output power by the firmware. So we have to be aware of this. But I just like to go through the product line here. And I would like to start with the ENH and the ENS Enterprise series. We actually recently just extended to the ENS Enterprise on top, actually between the ENH and the ENS SMB Enterprise, the ENS SMB series. So mainly the ENH and ENS Enterprise series. There are outdoor series which feature dual radio outdoor station access points, typically designed for harsh deployments based on dual radio infrastructure setups for 5 GHz backhauling and 2.4 ENStation access point deployments. So like I said, backhauling and endpoint. But secondary, since it's dual band, you can also do dual radio access point in case you want to divide your clients over 5 and 2.4 gigahertz. The ENH 1750 XT is actually one of the first 11 AC outdoor access points with these specifications. This picture shows actually the ENS 1750 set in WS mode on 5 gigahertz. So these are the ENH 1750 XTs, and this purple line kind of reflects the fact that these are connected to each other as a backhauling, like I explained before, in WS mode, and it uses the 2.4 gigahertz radio as an endpoint access point for the clients. So going to the lineup of these devices, in our device and also in this outdoor series, you see the same structure that we have a single band 2.4 as an entry level, and we have dual band models for 5 and 2.4 gigahertz, and on top of that we have the dual band with 11 AC. So depending on your deployment and what your requirements is, you can choose between these 4 models for access points. So these are the ENH Enterprise series. Main feature is, like I said, the IP68 IP rating, and they have detachable antennas. If you don't need this IP68 and the detachable antennas, we have this ENS Enterprise, the ENS Enterprise. Like I said, this one does not have detachable antennas, but it has an internal antenna, but still it's omnidirectional. I'd just like to mention here, the ENS is has a lighter, I'd say lighter mainboard, lighter specifications than the ENH series, and because of this fact, the capacity of this the ENS is of course lower than the ENH. Also, the price is accordingly lower than the ENH series. The second series in the outdoor we have is the ENH and the ENS SMB series. These models are again a little smaller than the big ENH and the ENS series, and the main difference actually in general is these access points are single band, so choice of or 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, and but they all share the 300 Mbps specification here. The ENS series have a choice between internal or external antennas. The ENH SMB series, they only have internal antennas, which are either 10 or 13 dB with dual polarity. The Omni antennas for the ENS series are 5 decibel, and the ENH and the ENS, they have different modes, like access point mode, client bridge mode, client router, WS modes, and actually more focusing on point-to-point or as a CPE for WISP solutions. Okay, this slide is actually one of the most popular deployments that our products are used in. Very typical, very popular. In this case, it's a point to multi-point deployment where the ENH 500 is used for as a both access point, and in this case there are 2 client bridges in this picture. This is actually this is the most typical deployment what is applied with our ENH series, or actually ENS also doing the same. This picture shows the ENS series to be used as a client bridge, maybe for WISP or some deployments like this. And in this case, there is an ENH used as the main access point, and the ENS devices are used for bridging this connection in the client bridge situation. So summarizing back to the lineup, this slide shows the lineup of the ENH, which we have 2 versions, one 5 gigahertz version and one 2.4 gigahertz version. So for the ENH, you have to choose which radio you want to use. There are some slight differences in antenna deployments here, and so basically you have to choose in advance which frequency that you want to use, and then you have to choose if you want to use then you have to determine to use the 500 or the 202 for the ENH. These are a little bigger than the ENS series. The ENS series are a little smaller. You can see the size is smaller, but also the antennas are also lower in gain. So for little lighter deployments, you can also use the ENS. Also, the cost of the ENS is also lighter. And the only difference with the ENH series is that for the ENS you also have the choice in omnidirectional antennas. So in case if you want to do a point to multi-point deployment where you want to have an access point omnidirectional in the middle or in the corner, you have also the choice to use the omnidirectional access points in this series. even for small scale access points solutions, for instance, a small square, maybe your terrace or something, in front of your cafe or hotel. You can choose to use the EXT models, the external models with external antennas, to provide the wireless in that kind of solutions. The last series from the outdoor that I want to point out in this webinar is the ENStation. The ENStation actually is a little specialized variation where we have a more higher gain antenna built in the access point with a much smaller beaming angle. So much more suitable for deployments where you have longer range. For instance, you can use these kind of devices for up to 10 kilometers, and it's possible to get still a proper connection speed. Next slide is a lineup of the EnStation. So in EnStation we actually only have two models, a 2.4 version and a 5 gigahertz version. The 5 gigahertz version, of course, again has a higher antenna because in most European countries the maximum power, maximum allowed power is higher, up to 30 dB. Than if you compare it to the 2.4, which is officially allowed only up to 20 dB. So far for the outdoor series, just to summarize again, we have the standalone series below our solutions. So we just talk about outdoor, and we talk about the ENS and ENH and ENS Enterprise access points. We talk about the ENH and ENS SMB access points, which is the ENH 500, ENH 202, and the ENS 202 and 500. And the last one is EnStation. So the next series that I want to talk about is the indoor series, which we have 3 series. It's the EAP, which are the ceiling mounts. The ECB is the multifunction access points, and the EGS series are the PoE switches. Let me find the slides here. So, like I said, I will start with the EAP series, and the EAP series actually is one of is our best-selling series at this moment, and we in 2012 we launched this design, and we started to use this design for the 600 dual band access points and up, but currently we have access points up to 11 AC with 3T3R, so capable to 1300 plus 400 Mbps speeds. Most of the access points in the high end are capable to do 8+8 SSIDs. And yeah, like I said, we have an award-winning design, and we got this Red Dot Design Award in 2012. The EAP series have a rich feature deployed in the devices. We have band steering, client limitation, and traffic shaping, data rate control, and so on and so on. Let me see if I have some questions here. Maybe I see there are some questions posted in the question box here. I will answer the questions after the webinar, and then I will personally inform you guys to as an answer to the questions. Where was I? Okay, AEP series. So for the EAP series, there are ceiling mounts initially, but still you can also mount it on the wall. The coverage of the antennas is more like a ball shape going downwards. So you have to imagine that this kind of deployment can also be from a wall side in that way. It has large indoor multi-room coverage. Of course, depends on how strong are you going to broadcast the radio. It's used to be in hotels, in offices, in schools. It can be a single point access point solution. It can be combined with a few other access points. You can use it in WS mode, and even can be a part of a wireless control solution where you have a wireless access controller, where it can be used as the hardware in any wireless deployment. So a quick lineup of the EAP series here. Again here, the construction that we have single band. Actually, these are all old models, the most selling models at this moment, and we are actually going more to this direction now. So we have dual band, and we have 11 AC, and based on the fact that 11 AC is really expanding now. The iPhone has 11 AC, the new models of smartphones have 11 AC, notebooks are getting 11 AC at this moment. So our product management department decided to extend the 11 AC lineup with a cheaper model, with the EAP 1200, which is currently under development, and it will come soon. As soon as the landing date is available, I will broadcast a message that it will be available. So at the end, on the moment that you want to invest in a wireless deployment, at least you have two choices. If you want to go for the EAP, to choose a more cost-efficient solution. It's more cost-efficient than the 1750, which is 3T3R. But both of them, they are 11 AC. So you still have the choice there. The other indoor series is the ECB series. And the main difference in the ECB series is actually the fact that it has detachable antennas, and the ECB series have a more extended different kind of modes. For instance, it can also be used as a client bridge for specialized deployments. For instance, I have a client that is using the ECB on a bomb dismantling vehicle, where they use two ECBs, one as in access point and one in client bridge, for the communication and the steering of the device, and also to control the robot and for the data, to transfer the video data of this device. So just as an example for this ECB series. Actually, I have one here, and the bottom plate is a metal plate, so it feels very solid, and like I said, the antennas are detachable here, so you can even connect another antenna if you like. Next slide, just a quick overview what it can do. It can be used as an access point, it can be used as a client bridge, it can be used as a repeater, and of course we have multiple WS modes in this ECB. Here a quick lineup of the different devices. The model that I just showed you was the ECB 1750 with 3T3R, 6 antennas. So starting from the ECB 300 up to the ECB 1750. Again, also in this series, the ECB series, we decided to expand our product range here in the 11AC. So currently still we are working on a second solution on the 11AC, and it will be coming soon. The last series of the indoor that I would like to mention in this webinar is our PoE switches. For two reasons we also have PoE switches. First of all, if you look at our standalone products, all our ECB series and the EAP series, the indoor series, where we just talked about, they are PoE, capable to receive PoE power. So on top of this, we have also a product line of PoE switches. So it will be complementary to the EAP and ECB series. Also for the IP cameras, which are under development, but I will not talk about it in this webinar. Mainly, most of them they are all gigabit, and we have L2 managed series, and we have a smart managed series. So yeah, just a lineup here. Sorry, like I said, two reasons why we have the PoE switches. First was the indoor access point. The second reason is the EWS series, our AP management solution, the wireless management solution. If you use our PoE switches in a deployment of the EWS, the EWS switch, the management switch, will recognize the sub PoE switches, and you can even see in which port is which access point is connected to which port on which switch, and it will all be recognized into one system. If we go to another webinar which explains the EWS, I will explain you there how this will look like if you use the PoE switches of EnGenius. So the lineup for the PoE switches, like I said, we have smart switches, and we have L2 managed switches, starting from small with a small budget up to 740 watts power budget on 40 divided over 48 ports. So far for the indoor series. So the last few minutes of this webinar, I just want to show you a few slides of our SOHO. As a manufacturer of many brands, many other brands as well, EnGenius have also a small line of SOHO routers and SOHO cameras. So, but for our current series, we just like to give customers a little bit extra to diversify ourselves from the rest of the standard routers that are available in the market. Our intention is not to compete with other brands in the price war. Our strategy for our SOHO is to give something extra to diversify from the cheap brands of routing. So we have our cloud routers actually, and to explain you in a very short way, all our routers are supplied with an USB port, which will have a few different functions, and on top of the routers there are a few applications, a few apps designed for both Android and iOS devices, which will integrate a function to do something with the USB on the router. So in general, it has the USB port, and the router has a pre-configured DDNS service, which means that from outside through the DDNS service, you can already connect to your router for certain application. So which applications do we have? First of all, we have EnShare, which is an application that is to use the attached USB storage. It can be a USB stick or a hard drive, and you can use that as your personal cloud. So you have a personal cloud server. What is so nice about this server is this service is that you have the data still in your hand. If you are uploading files to some cloud service, you never know what happens with this data. If you have your own personal storage server, you always have the data in your own hand. If you don't want this data to be accessible from any place, you can just disconnect your USB, and then your data is only in your hand. Okay, so this is so far for the EnShare function. What is nice about the applications is that there is a high integration to your smartphone. For instance, if you make one picture with your telephone, it will, if you press the share button, the EnShare application will already recognize it, and it will ask you also to, you will have the option to share your picture directly on your EnShare server. Second function is the NTOC, and actually we have two different kind of NTOCs. NTOC is like a VoIP server, so the VoIP works on within your router, so you can have set up a small private VIP service between your home network. For instance, you can call with your wife, with your kids, and you can use this as a VoIP server for internal use. On top of NTOC Lite, we have one model of router, which is the EPG 600. It also have a PSTN line connection, and this specialty is that you can also call in or be called out from using this PSTN connection on your router, so that in short, you will just have your own private VoIP server, which you can already connect to the outside through your landline. The third application that we have is en route, and it's like a locate me, a GPS logging system, where you log your data on your USB storage, and you can also set some alerts, and you can track down who is where on through your cloud, EnGenius Cloud. Last function of the SOHO apps is the EnView application. Since we have also one camera currently and working on other cameras, we use the EnGenius Cloud service also with an app which is called EnView, and you can view the cameras from there. All the routers are supplied with a QR code, a unique QR code, which contains your pre-configured login data, and also the cameras have this QR code. For instance, if you use the EnView application, you can just turn around your router, scan the QR code with the EnView application, and you just can connect directly to the router. Okay, so summarizing the SOHO line, I have this slide here. which lines up all the SOHO routers and the SOHO IP cam. We have on top the EPG 5000, which is the 11AC router, and below this we actually stripped down our product line. We used to have a whole line here, but we like to focus a little bit to a few mainstream models here. So 11AC, plain dual band, and entry level single band and gigabit. And like I said, the EPG 600 with the PSTN line where you can connect with the landline to set up your own private VIP service. And in the SOHO there is the EDS camera here, and this is the camera which will be highly integrated with our ESR routers. So far, yeah, looking also at the time, since I planned this presentation to be up to 11:30, I would like to close this webinar here. I would use this as the last slide for this webinar, which is summarizing our full product line here. So quickly over it, we had our EWS solution. We have spoken today about the outdoor and the indoor series, all the series here, and we quickly go over our SOHO line here. Like I said, I will the questions that are posted during this webinar, I will personally go over this and answer in private. The general product presentation here today. Our next webinar is on 28th of May, which will start with the series of 3 of the EWS webinars. I will start with a general overview and the functions of the EWS. The second one is hands-on on the how to set up an EWS solution, and the last EWS presentation will be dedicated to the functions. We will go through the functions one by one to of the EWS to explain you more how it works and how we can deploy it in various solutions. So if there is any more questions, I would like to keep the webinar open for 1 more minute to post your question, and then I will answer them after the meeting. And then I would just like to thank you all for your attention today, and I hope to see you back in a next webinar. And then, yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and see each other later.